Alright guys, Cross here back with another video, and before we head into the video guys, if you could please like, subscribe, and turn those post notifications on for more DCD content coming up. And yeah, let's head back into the video. So guys, this video I'm going to be going over everything that I've learned over the past, 2 days now of playing the game, trying to give you guys some tips and tricks that I've kind of figured out after playing for a good majority of the 2 days. I've been getting a lot of questions on potential system, shooting tips, and all this other stuff. So I'm just going to kind of go over it as much as I can today. So I'm going to just start off by going over so this is the main account. I'm level 20. You're kind of seeing okay, I'm in golden leader. I'm going to go over my stats just to show you that I have played the game so much that I kind of have an understanding of why I'm going to say the things that I'm going to say. So here, as you can see, I've played 60 games. Well, I played a bunch of games, almost 60 games with Luka here. My win percentage isn't great, but that's mostly due to the lag and me sometimes doing dumb stuff. And as you saw in the video earlier, my teammates, they don't really get blocks or rebounds. So it's if I don't score, I'm kind of cooked. But I've played a lot of games. I've done a lot of things. I've tested out certain things regarding the potential system, shooting. In terms of shooting, scoring, I would definitely say it's timing based. If you don't think that, I can understand why. Because sometimes when you just hold it down, it still goes in. But for the most part, someone told me that, yo, you need to time it better. Just look at release it before the green bar around it fills. Sometimes it's not there. So that's really when you kind of just have to know the shot a little bit. But for the most part, when I started doing that, I started hitting more shots. So I'm going to think that is the case as well. Also, if your build for your character is pretty low, if they're not level 50, you don't have any potential in them, it's gonna be quite difficult to really hit shots consistently, because I see people complain about that, but it's really just the level of your character, the potential system that you're throwing in, and stuff like that. Also, so as I said, I'm in the South American server, and these are the top guys. As you can see here, bro, it's a lot of big men. That's really what's running it. Obviously, you have some good guards here. I'm top 100, I guess, for Luka. I haven't been playing as much on this account, but yeah, I've been going through. As you can see, I'm pretty. I was for what was it? I was really high on. I think it was average stats. I think average stats. I was top 7 for a little while yesterday, but as I said, I haven't been playing as much. Yeah, I'm top 20 now still, but yeah. So as I said, I've been playing for a while, so I kind of understand certain things about the game, and you can see there's certain cards or plays that people are using. A lot of big men and some guards here, but yeah, first thing I want to really go over here in the settings, you kind of want to have the passing setting on to target pass. So if you don't have this on, turn it on. It's easier so that when you're playing 3v3, if there's somebody wide open, you know which button that is. I just recently turned it on, so I'm not fully used to it, but it's still better to know that, oh, if this guy is open from the far right, I can throw it over there and he should be able to get it. Another thing that I kind of want to go over is something that I figured out. Well, because I played the beta, I never thought I needed it, but I went through the practice mode and I went through the challenges, and I kind of learned how to play defense just a little bit better, and understanding that the street rules section here, it kind of it gives you examples of what you need to be doing on defense, the areas in which you can block, and all that type of stuff. I would recommend that you going through all of these if you haven't. I didn't do it originally, so, and obviously you get rewards, diamonds, and all the necessary resources that you need in game. So I'm just gonna go over one of the examples here, so at least you can see what it means to guard a character or something. You can come in here on your own and just practice defense guarding certain moves. Let's say there's a character giving you a lot of problems, You can come here and just practice that specific move, how to block it, how to guard it over and over until you rep it perfectly. And then also, well, I was gonna say use it for shooting, but in here I'm pretty sure you hit every shot no matter what. But yeah, it still helps you a lot with guarding, playing defense, blocking, stealing. So yeah, just come in here, practice as much as you can, and just to understand how to play defense a little bit better there. All right, so moving outside of that now, I would say let's hop into the potential system. But first, I want to get into the attribute section, because the attribute section is very important because I don't think a lot of people understand what they're supposed to be looking for when they're upgrading their attribute system. Also, I wanted to show you I have basically everything maxed out except for those two things, which I'll probably get later on or maybe not at all. I don't know. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, I have everything for Luka here maxed out, so I don't really need anything here. I just want to go over to the attributes here. So in attributes, you kind of have to look at it right there, click that little eye, and it tells you what each stat means, what it affects. So you want to just go through here with certain things that are important, like blocking. I think movement speed is pretty good, vertical, consistency, strength, all that stuff. Like, you see what every stat means, and then you can see like what it affects, how much it's going up by when you go into the potential system and stuff. So in terms of like what stats or what range is a stat good, I would say anything over 100. If a character has a stat, as you can see here, Steph has 140s. If the character has a stat over 100 and maybe like 10, 15, they're probably very good in that. Well, not very good, but good enough, but pretty good in that category. And then if they have in the 120s and especially 130s and 140s, then the character is very good at that one specific thing. So depending on your play style, how you want to play, what you want to upgrade, is how you build your potential system. So you can just come through here, compare it to other cards, and say, okay, what do I want my character to be really good at compared to like these other cards. So in the potential system here, you can see this is the build that I'm rocking currently. I had an original build. I changed it because I realized on defense my Luka was pretty slow, so I've been putting stuff into like movement. I kind of want to get like his rebounding and all this other stuff. So that was like the first build I had at the top there, and that's the build that I'm rocking currently. I'm going to be testing and changing up because you can reset it. So I'm going to be going through and testing different builds. So if you want to know though how to build your character, there is a recommended build section and it shows you like what people do. But me personally, even though when you do the recommended build, it just targets like very specific attributes, and I think that's probably the best thing to do. But for me, I'm just going through testing, so I'm just gonna do like multiple different things. Obviously, you see the most pick, the highest win rate, and all that stuff. So depending on the play style that you want to have is the type of build or potential system stuff that you should be upgrading into. All right, so if you want to max out your three, you want to max out mid range, you want to get as much into blocking and all that other stuff, you want to get as many of those specific upgrades as possible. What I like to do, I want to have between like at least 4 to 6, maybe 7 of like the main stat that I'm upgrading. You want to have, I'll push it at probably like 6 or 7. You want to have that as the main stat that you're upgrading, so that you're maximizing your play style and the stats that you want to affect the most. So far, I think for me, like movement, as I said, that's what I kind of wanted. I kind of want vertical just for its layup accuracy. I think strength is important. Consistency actually is important, but depending, as I said, depending on what you're trying to do, it might not be as important. And you want to have characters with their stats above like 120, 130 in that whatever category that you're trying to upgrade. In terms of like general builds, because I cannot go through every character and say like, oh, this character is this, you need this potential system. I don't really have every character and I can't really go through. But like I said, if you really want to know, I don't have anything in Wiggins right now. I'm just showing you. I don't if you really want to know how to build a character, you can just, as I said, use the recommended build section, and it shows you what everyone, or what most people, not everyone, but what most people are using. So you can just go through and just pick what is the one that you want to do, or just stick with that for the time being until you kind of figure out what you want to do, or however you want to do that. But as I said, depending on the play style of what you're trying to do, the stat that you want to upgrade, and how good you want your play style to be, what do you want to do with this specific character, that's how you should build your potential system stuff there. I'm probably gonna try and go through, yeah, as I see, I can't go through the other characters, so I can't really say, but at some point, if I get all the characters, or maybe when I get all the characters, whatever that may be, it's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna go through and see what everybody what everybody's stats and potential system kind of can be like. And I said, just compare it to see, okay, who has, like, what's a good stat for this character. Like I said, most of the good stats you see are above 100, or at least minimum above 90. And that's kind of where the world where you kind of want to lie in. And then also you have to remember as well, the clothes that you have, or the outfits that you have, also affect your stats. So I think, like, the free pants that you have, it gives it, I think it does vary depending on the character that you have, because Luka gets 3-point and dribble, and I think when I went to Wiggins, his one was like dunking and something else. So it does vary on the character that you are using or want to use the outfit on. And yeah, I would also just recommend to just play as many of the, try and clear as many of the missions as you possibly can, especially like the summer revelry, since you're able to get like the free costumes there, that will buff your stats. As well as, I would probably mention to everyone that you should try and get the star talents and the star vouchers. I think that's the most important thing in there. If you're not getting the costumes, or even with the costumes, I would still say getting the star talents, because you need 96 of them to max out a card. I would say try and get that as much as possible, and just clearing out as much of the missions as you possibly can. Then the final tip I would say is to just try and ensure that you're clearing these out. I realize that some people ask me about like pulling cards and what cards should they go after. Honestly, guys, if you spend the first tickets that you had on getting the character that you want, just save them as much as possible. As I say, clearing out on the missions, party manual stuff is extremely important. And yeah, those would be my main tips. And then in terms of resources, since gold, I've actually spent quite a bit of, probably like maybe like over 20k gold so far since playing. And the resources that you burn through the most, is the potential essence and the talent manuals. So the talent material. So I would say, like, try and spend your gold there, unless, and I would not recommend upgrading a bunch of characters. It's just not worth it at this moment, unless you plan on playing Dynasty heavy. And then obviously spending your gold on getting the partners up, because those partners will help you to upgrade like specific stats. As you see here with Luka, it upgrades your 3. It can get pretty expensive, because that is 15k right there just to get that up. And I don't know what the max is, and I don't know if you can, like, let's say you max out the Joe Harris there, max out his 3, can you go back and do another talent, upgrade that to the max as well, and get those stats? I'm not really sure. I'll probably test that out at some point. But yeah, those are the tips that I have for you guys right now. As I said, trying to save up as many of your gold and spend it on resources that you need, doing this practice mode stuff, potential stuff, shooting tips, all that type of stuff. Just those are the things that I would say are the most important things that you need to be doing and paying attention to right now. And guys, I know people are asking a lot about superstars. Please save. Like, once you buy that 10 for the week, just save it. Or if you want to burn it, you burn it. But that's where your diamond should be going to every month. But yeah, I'm probably gonna just keep playing and try to get as high as I possibly can in ranked. I want to get this 50 wins so I can get the celebration there. I don't know where I'm gonna end up or finish with this because I'm starting to grind my second account with Paul George, and when I get him up, his potential system up, I'll do my video on him, and then I'll see from there. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on for more content. And I'll see y'all next time, guys. Peace.